Welcome back to another episode of Who the Fuck Asked You. I'm here live, always with my dog, my right-hand man, my guest host, the co-host, Rio. What's happening, brother?
What's good?
Shit, same old shit, man. Same old shit. Hey, got a lot of feedback from last week. Great episode. Shout out to Rich. Got a lot of people in my inbox talking shit. Man, I got a lot of people talking about Cosby, man. Got a lot of people talking about Cosby. So that's very intriguing. And I think that's very cool because it kind of ties into this episode, which, as you see at the bottom, you know, best, worst TV dads. And of course, you had mentioned overrated choice as well. But before we get into that, I want to do my usual shouts outs to my people. The Culture Garden. Another week in the books. What's up, Spike Lou? And again, that's another episode. That's another podcast with Rich. That boy is a podcast machine, bruh. Yeah. Shout out to the Culture Garden, Ray P. What's happening? If you guys don't know, I'm on the Culture Garden as well. What else we got? Childish Grown-Ups. The umbrella is growing, man. I love to see it. So, yes. So shout out to the peoples. Anything else?
Man, I'm just happy to be here today.
Yeah. Shout out to the Bengals, man. Who they? What you say?
I wasn't gonna say that.
Okay. I thought you said Eagles fly, Eagles home, or whatever y'all niggas be talking about.
Fly Eagles fly is the.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. Oh, okay. Excuse me. So this is your choice. This is something you decided that you want to speak on, you want to debate, you want to talk about. So tell the people why you want to do this episode, brother.
Just because I feel like this is I don't know how to even explain it. This is almost like a barbershop cultural topic that I feel like is always mentioned and it's always talked about, like who's a good TV dad, who's a bad TV dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think people are always conflicted with who's the best TV dad. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes that's where like the biggest conflict comes in. And a lot of people have their preferences. I don't know if it's if people base it off of how they parent or they would parent, or if it's just like the impact that the show had on them as a kid.
Yeah,
which, you know what I mean. Like, so I was like, man, it'd be interesting for us to talk about, who's the best TV dads?
Yeah.
Who was not a good TV dad?
Yeah. I like that. I think it ties into the culture simply because not a lot of us had a dad. So you're sitting there and thinking like, damn, if I could pick my dad, I'd pick him. Or, I wonder what kind of dad my dad would be. You know what I mean? Like, that's sad, but it's true. You living vicariously through these characters, and just hoping that. And then once you become a father, you're hoping to, grasp some of everything from these guys, to be the best dad in a sense. So that's what's up, man.
I was one of them kids.
So, with that being said, you want to start off with your list? You want to get it going? Do it how we did with the 5. So you do 3. You do your number 3. I do my number 3. Blase.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So what we starting off with? Worst, best.
Let's start off with the best.
Okay, I'm with it. Let's go.
Yeah, and I can do the honors since it is my choice for the week.
Yep. Let's get it.
All right, number 3. I'm going from the number 3 to the 1 spot.
Okay.
I'm going with Uncle Phil.
Okay.
And a lot of people, because of my love for Fresh Prince, a lot of people thought I would have had him at number 1.
Yes, I did.
But I'm going with him at 3. And the reason I say 3 because I still think he's in the running for best dads, best dads. But I'll say this.
Okay.
I still think that it's certain things where if you rewatch it, I'm like, I don't know if that's the best parenting move, because he was like, initially he was like harder on Will than he was his own kids. And his own kids were making bad decisions. You know what I mean? Like when Hillary dropped out of college, I mean, it was like they were upset, but only because she didn't tell them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, like Will was doing stuff that was like almost minor, and he would be more upset with Will.
It goes back to that. I mean, that goes into that's his seed.
I get that. But at the same time,
that's his seed.
If y'all took in Will and you said you were gonna take him and treat him like your own, you can't treat him not like he own. You know what I mean?
That's my wife's blood. That's what he said.
but I still think that, like, you know, through everything, I think that the lessons that he taught, and sometimes, you know, when you are a child that's coming from a different environment, you do kind of need that tough love.
Yeah, for sure.
So I kind of understood that from a standpoint, and you know, Will was a young man, so we also had to treat him different too, you know, versus how he would treat Hillary or Ashley. But you know, everything that he did for his children and the encouragements that he gave them, but also his character as a person, I think is initially what kind of helped set the foundation for him as a father on Fresh Prince. Like, the character that he had, and also like his roots and stuff. Like, so like when they introduce his mom and his dad, talk about his upbringing, it kind of helps. It gives you more of an understanding of his background too.
That he really came from the bottom.
Yeah,
for sure.
He grew up on a farm.
Yeah,
he essentially went off to Princeton to become, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
become this corporate lawyer. So, you know,
big money.
Yeah, well, yeah, big money.
Big money.
But just I think a lot of that, and then just how it transitions to his parenting style. That's why we'll put him in my top 3 for best. You know what I mean? So it's a shortcoming also, but
yeah, I'm not mad at that. Not mad at that at all. He's definitely on my best list, but he's not number 3. All right, so for me, my number 3 is Carl Winslow. I have Carl Winslow as number 3. For one, you know, he was a hardworking cop, which in our community, that's tough in itself, you know, to be a cop. But I'm sure at some point, I don't know how true this is. I wasn't old enough, you know what I mean, to like really remember. I'm trying to word this correctly. All I'll say is I don't know if people wanted to be a cop because of Carl Winslow. Like, I don't know if he had that type of impact, but he did make it seem cool. Like they never gave you an episode where he was an asshole cop, which is something that we all can relate to. We've all interacted with some of those. He was always, you know, putting his family first. He was very patient with Steve, man. Like that, that in itself, he got to get on the list. Being patient with Steve, even when Steve's parents, which is something you never see his parents, but they never fucked with Steve. They was always out of town. Once they figured out that the Winslows fuck with Steve, they was we going out of town. We going here. We want Africa for a month. Like they would disappear on him, and Carl never wavered. You know, he kick him out, get frustrated. Steve's one of those characters. Like if you say if Carl wouldn't get frustrated with Steve, then I'll know this shit was fake. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Carl Winslow, man, he's a legend, and for some reason he's always playing a cop. Like he was a cop in Die Hard, and that was prior to Family Matters. So he must have seen his destiny. Like I'm gonna be a cop. So yeah, he was definitely, again, he was patient, and he did a lot of it was on accident, but he did a lot of the gimmicks with Steve as well. You know, when Steve was like Bruce Lee, the Bruce Lee, fake Bruce Lee. he was the fake sidekick. He just he dug into that role of being Carl Winslow and doing what was great for the show. And again, like I said, he was a patient dad. Again, like you said with the Uncle Phil character about the nephew, he did the same with what's his name? Richie. And then later, and then later on, 3J, they adopted 3J. So he was a great dude. So shout out to Carl Winslow, man.
Carl is on my list, but somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's for me. It's always a issue with I ain't even gonna say issue, but I'm always torn with the Carl Winslow thing. Like, is he? Because I remember I remember the conversations of who's the better, TV dad, Carl Winslow or Uncle Phil. It was on, but I don't even think it's close.
As far as what you think, Uncle Phil's way ahead?
Yeah.
I think Uncle Phil's ahead, personally, but I think that Steve is a harder character to deal with. So he got to get props for that. Steve's just Annie in love with your daughter, like the patience that man had, and this nigga is in love with your daughter, but he's not a threat too, so that helps. I don't think Steve became a threat until he became Stefan.
But even then, it's like I still can't let you, but so much in my house, like you can't have access to my crib like that all the time. Like Steve was just walking in their crib, like, hey, you feel me?
Hey, be like that. Not over here, but over there.
You a cop, man? You know what I mean, bro?
Hey,
man, just walking in your crib. Mm-hmm. And you in Chicago?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And again, and another thing too why I fucked with him. And again, I'll speak on this with Uncle Phil too. Is they stood on business. There's a few episodes where the racism comes into play and certain things that just wasn't curling all the way over for Carl, and he checked into it. He made sure shit got right over there. So I fucks with Carl, man. So
yeah, that's one thing I can say though. On those, it was on those heavy episodes, like you can.
Oh yeah,
Carl can tap in and get more aggressive because he was always kind of more lenient. Guy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's certain episodes where you kind of see him tap in and be like for instance, I think it was episode when Eddie was drinking underage, and yeah, he told him straight up. He said, "Hey, I catch you drinking again, you won't be living in this house."
That's a fact. Or the episode where the cop was harassing Eddie because he was black. Like,
oh yeah,
he didn't know his father was a cop, and not only is he a cop, like he got pulled around this city. Like, nigga, I'm somebody. Like, I looked you up, nigga. I have my people check into you, and I see you always harassing black people. Like, great episode, man. Great episode.
Yeah.
Yep. So, what you got is number 2?
My number two. So my number 2 is gonna throw everybody off.
Okay.
I'm going with Floyd Henderson from Smart Guy.
I like that. I like that.
The simple fact that people don't talk about Floyd being like one of those great TV dads.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's because if Smart Guy wasn't so popular worldwide. I know in the community it was. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it didn't help that it don't. What was it? Only 2 seasons? I want to say
it was like 4 seasons of Smart Guy.
I think you might be pushing it, but go ahead. I'm about to look.
It was like 3 or 4 seasons of Smart Guy.
I'm about to look it up. Go ahead.
But Floyd, he raised 3 kids by himself.
Yep.
And Mo.
He said, and Mo.
That
nigga be spitting. Shout out to Cameron.
I still ain't heard none of these raps. You swear up and down he was
spitting, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But
it was 3 seasons. You right? 3 seasons. 3 seasons.
Yeah, but Floyd, despite not having a woman in the household, Floyd held it down. Like, and that's the one thing he had over the other like I would say some of the other TV dads, right? Like they had some like a counterpart, somebody else to help balance them out. Like, nah, he was just raising 3 kids, you know what I mean, by himself, and had a plus one when Mo would come through, you know what I mean. But
I would say that his daughter, you know, shout out to Essence Atkins, she played that role a little bit too, you know, especially when those situations happen and you have a older daughter. It seems as though, and this is just based off of what I see on TV a little bit, it seems like she kind of picks up that motherly slack a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And she did. There's certain situations where she definitely, you know, picked up the slack for him. So for sure.
Yeah, no, and I agree. The only thing I'll say is they don't. I mean, they don't really talk too much about like what happened with the mom. I think she was like in a car accident and passed, you know, and tragically passed away. But if you look at everything that happened, right? Like he had one kid that's a childhood genius, right? And he's going from elementary to high school.
Crazy,
right? Crazy. But then you got a middle child who's your son who is in high school. Who's hey. Hey, Marcus was Marcus was the man.
Hey, he was that nigga.
He trying to figure stuff out.
He almost got Beyonce.
Yeah, back in the day.
Hey, they definitely was on the episode.
Yeah, but I remember. And Mo almost had Kelly.
Hey. At least they would have pulled 2 permanent members. Shit. Yeah.
But if you look at everything, and then what Essence was the first season, the daughter was Essence Atkins' character was a junior the first season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she graduated in season 2.
Yeah.
But if I go back and I look at it, like, and Floyd was just like a contract construction worker, didn't have like this crazy job, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was glorified. And I also think that's one thing that when I watch the show, it helps me. It makes it feel more relatable because it's like a middle income family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Single parent household. And he's just like, yo, we doing what we got to do to get by. They weren't trying to do nothing fancy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Floyd just basically, bro, you getting your daughter through high school, your middle child who want to be cool, you know, he's trying to find his way in life, but you support him in every way. He got a band that he let play out in the garage. You know, TJ had one episode when he was trying to be cool and was dressing like a little thug and drinking, you know what I mean? Like just because he was trying to fit in, you know what I mean? So, but Floyd had to have a talk with him, like, yo, you got to chill out. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah, and I'm with you. I think that's one of the toughest. That has to be one of the toughest things. Is just all that those different age ranges. You know, like you said, you got a 8-year-old, and then you got a 15-year-old, and then you got a 19-year-old. Like these are just all crazy ages, and you have to be 3 different dads. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then not only that, you got the 8-year-old who's skipping pretty much into, you know, his whole, you know, preteen years to be a teenager because he's so fucking smart that it's just like, you know, regardless, when it comes to certain things, like you're more intelligent than I am, you know. And then there's those episodes where he shows that he's still a kid, you know. I hate to even talk about this, but the episode where he, you know, when the little boy, the dude was taking pictures of him. Got caught up in the, like, that's just showing you that he's a little kid, you know.
Yeah.
He is just.
It's crazy that show only got 3 seasons because it was so well written. Like,
great show. I agree.
But I mean, I don't know. So when I look at it, I'm like, man, you know, Floyd, like, because I feel like if I was a parent, I will try to be closer to like how Floyd was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because he was checking his kids when he had to. I remember it was an episode where TJ had a girl in his room because him and Marcus shared a room, but TJ had a girl in the room that he was studying with.
Yeah.
And then Marcus just so happened to be in there. Floyd walked by and he looked. And he came back like, hold on.
The hell going on?
Yeah, he said, why is it a girl in your room? And he was like, he's like, I came in here. She was in here. She here for TJ. He's like, oh, she in here with TJ. Okay. Like, and then Marcus was like, wait, hold on. So TJ can have a girl in here, but I can't?
Yep. Like, come on, dude. TJ ain't thinking about that mess.
TJ 10. He don't even know how to do it.
Yeah. You hear me? That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you.
When you 15, 16, you
that's a different story.
Yeah.
That's a different story. You already know what's up.
But it's small things like that, like throughout the show that I'm like, yo, like now Floyd definitely was like one of those. He was for real one of those dudes. Like, so I got him in my number 2 spot. Who you got?
Man, I got shout out to last week's episode, man. I got Cos, man.
Whoa.
I got Cliff Huxtable, man.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm surprised right now. I'm not even gonna lie.
Why are you surprised? What you thought? He was gonna be number 1?
I thought he was gonna be number 1 for you.
Nah, he can't be number 1. And the only reason I would say he's not number 1 is because of I relate more to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air than I do to the Cosby Show, and that's because when I see anyway, we'll talk about that when I get to my number 1.
Okay.
But with that being said, I do have Cosby as my number 1. Cosby was different, man. He was a great father. Excuse me, I need to stop saying Cosby because we talking about Heathcliff Huxtable. Heathcliff Huxtable was a great father, man. He had 5 children. He was a lawyer. He was a doctor, married to a lawyer. Great example. You know, there were certain standards that he lived by in his home. If you didn't meet those standards, and I'm not talking about those bullshit standards. I'm talking about going to school, bringing certain grades in his home, and if you don't do that, you gotta go. Like, I don't care how polished I may seem, I'm still a nigga. Like, and there was moments where he brought that out. Like, and I love that anytime that they could teach a lesson, they taught it, and they didn't need to do certain things. They didn't need to threaten. There's episodes where they did. Don't get it twisted. But for the most part, they just outsmarted their kids. You know what I mean? Like, the episode where, Theo wanted to move out. I'm going to quit school. I'm going to do this. And he's like, okay, cool, bet. All right, so how much money? And then he, faked him out with the money. Like, all right, cool. So you say you make this a week. All right, cool. Here's $1,200. Wait a minute. Taxes. Don't forget about taxes. Cool. Got to take that out. Like, just let them know, like, this shit out here is real hard, nigga. So you might want to get in this school books, all that type of things. They never missed the opportunity to teach ever, And on top of that, he welcomed everyone in his home. He didn't, even when his daughter started dating, for the most part, he gave every guy a chance. If he didn't like them, which seemed rare, but there are some spots where he didn't like a guy, he would let it be known. He's a good dad, man. Nothing. I don't really have too much negative to say about Heathcliff Huxtable as a parent, man. He stood on business, which is very tough to do when you have daughters, because, man, it's different, man. I don't have any sons, but I can only imagine. Man. That love that love is crazy. You're their first love. Like, you're their first example of what a man should be, what it looks like for a man to handle business, all that, And I think Heathcliff stood on business. So that's my number 2.
Yeah. Well, your number 2 is my number 1. So
hey, let's get it.
It ain't nobody bigger than Heathcliff, man. Like,
I'm with you.
Ain't nobody bigger than Heathcliff. Like, that's the standard for TV dads. It's like, you know what I mean? Not only, and it could just be because everybody else after had a chance to try to model somebody after Heathcliff.
Yeah.
But man, like, even like watching the show, like watching that show, I'm like, growing up, I'm like, damn, and I wish I had a dad like Heathcliff, man. Like, because even when you on BS, he gonna teach you a lesson with love. You know what I mean? So even at the end of the lesson, like he gonna do one of his little famous. Just like when you talked about with Theo, he gonna give you one of his famous lessons. Like, I'm gonna show you by actually making you think about what just happened.
Yes.
So then when you find out, or when it comes to your mind, you're like, oh, like, it ain't sweet like I think it is.
Yeah, and I want to say I'll give him credit too for being one of the first parents that at least that I've ever seen on TV actually get her kids a chance to kind of tell us how you feel. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you don't want to go to school? Why? Tell me why. Look me in my eyes and tell me why. And if it's a valuable reason, then I might can go for it.
Yeah.
And then they tell their reason, nope, I don't like it. You going to school. Like, he gonna give you a chance.
Yeah. And the craziest thing is, like, it'll be sometimes where, and usually like they try to paint the dad to be the more disciplinary.
Oh man.
But it was times where he was more lenient than than Claire.
Yes. Yep.
I remember I never forget that episode when Vanessa went to Baltimore.
Ooh.
Hey.
Lit her up, didn't she?
Hey.
Lit her up.
Hey.
Lit her up.
She deserved, I ain't gonna lie though, she deserved an award for that. Hey, that episode.
She killed. Yep.
I was like, damn, I never sneak out and go to White House Park.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm scared to even say Baltimore around here. Yeah, she wasn't playing.
Bro, she said, big fun in Baltimore.
And what do you have to say for yourself? Oh, you ain't got to like still.
Then when she tried to talk,
went in on her. I'm talking to you. Like, went in on her.
Heathcliff was just like, yo.
Because he know his woman.
Yeah.
Like, you should have stayed your ass, boy. You tripping. Now I got to deal with this lady.
Man.
Now I got to go up here and deal with this shit. Like, come on, man. So,
But that's the thing, though. Like, even with his like high pressure job, being not only a doctor, but he was a doctor who was always on call.
Yep.
Because he specialized in delivery. For,
you
know what I mean? So he delivering kids in the middle of the night. He might have to go at like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But he was always finding time to be with his children and raise his children. Like,
not only that, you saw what type of son he was as well.
Yeah.
When his parents came by, the respect there was amazing. The respect, the way he treated, Claire's parents. Like, he was just a different type of dude, different breed. Again, well respected, needed to do what needed to be done to make sure his family was straight. And I'll give him this one for real too, is I guess when you have as many kids as they do, you have that problem child. And I don't want to say the problem child, but you have that one that needs a little bit more help, which was Theo. Like, and credit to both of them, but mostly credit to Cliff, is that they never gave up on Theo.
No.
Theo changed majors every season. Every 6 days, that nigga was being something different. And he knew that it takes time sometimes. Like, it takes time. But son, I promise you, once you figure this out, you're going to find something you love. You gonna do it well and blase. And he never gave up on his kids' friends either. There's so many celebrities that were on the show. At the time, we didn't know who they were, but that just were, either Denise's friends or Theo's friends or Vanessa's friends, and he welcomed them all in. Come on in, white, black, blue, green. He didn't care. Come on, shit. Just don't eat this sub sandwich. So shout out to that.
And he introduced us to the bacon burger dog too. I still ain't never in my life. I never had a bacon burger dog. And
one of the best things too, again, was when Denise married old boy and Raven Simone came in as Olivia.
Oh yeah.
And the chemistry they had, again, like, if you Cliff Huxtable, you don't know this little girl from Paint on the Wall, like, and he treated her with love. You would never know. Like, if I turned that crap on and I didn't know nothing about the show, I would just assume, like, oh, that's his granddaughter, like, because he never seemed as though that this little girl ain't related to me. Like, he just was a loving dude, man. Shout out to Cliff Huxtable. I don't know about that Cosby character.
Hey, but even when the cousin Pam moved in.
Yes, Pam. Yep.
He allowed her, like, yep. he literally gave her the same rules and guidelines as he gave his own children.
Yes.
Similar to Uncle Phil, but I felt like maybe he was a little more fair with Pam than Uncle Phil was with Will. But again, it could also be because it was a young lady versus a young man. So there's that difference.
Yeah.
But I'm man. But I wanted to say this though.
Go ahead.
Before we move on, I think this is exactly why I can separate the art from the artist, because I'm not going in with the idea of him even like his personal life as Bill, but I'm thinking of his life as the character Heathcliff when I watch the show.
Yep.
It's never a thing where I'm like, like, you know what I mean? Because I know he's a character, but I'm thinking of what is this character doing? Like, what are his mannerisms? Not him as a person.
Yeah.
Like,
the problem is Bill himself tried to act as though Cliff was who he was, and it wasn't, and that's okay. Like, that's the problem, That's the problem.
Yeah, and I think you could be right. I think that maybe the character got so big that it overtook who he really was. You know what I mean? And our perceptions of him.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. So I think we all know who my number one is.
Yeah.
First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. For real. I think Uncle Phil is number one to me. It definitely holds a place very close to my heart. For those who don't know, last week we had Rich on. Me and Rich are cousins, blood cousins. His mom and my mom are sisters. His dad is my Uncle Phil. I didn't growing up, I didn't really have a dad. And Big Rich was my pops, man. He taught me a lot, gave me a lot of lessons. He never treated me any different. If every year we would go on vacation, sometimes I would call him Uncle Phil or Carl Winslow. Now that would piss him off. But that was the will in me, like, and a lot of these characteristics that Uncle Phil had, Big Rich have, took in his nephew as his own son. Like I said, like, Big Rich there's nothing that I wanted for when I was over there. If Rich got something, I got it. We going to get Jordans. Well, you getting some Jordans too. Very balanced, balanced discipline, a lot of love there. he represented a strong, successful black man. Which is something. First off, I think too, and I don't know about. I can't say for sure that Claire and Claire and Cliff were Republicans, but I know for sure that the Banks were Republicans. Like, I think they might have been the first like Republicans that I've ever like, at least black Republicans that I ever seen, like that you could just, you knew what type of shit they was voting for because they had that type of money. Like, we need these tax breaks. Shit, yeah. Who helping us? Shit, Trump. All right, then that's who we're voting for. But also, he even in those instances, he always stood on who he was. I walk with the Panthers. Letting Will know, like, you think struggles, nigga. I was in the struggles, nigga. I marched with Malcolm. I marched with Martin. I marched with Malcolm, nigga. Like, I was in the sit-ins, and I didn't ride the bus because they didn't. I'm the reason. Along with so many other of us, are the reason that you are able to, wear your hat backwards and talk that shit you talking. Uncle Phil was a man. He was a hell of a man. And I think that what separates him from all the other dads for me is the acceptance of Will. The tough love, and I think one of the things that he did well was trying to hide his emotions. You know what I mean? Like, trying to act as though certain things didn't bother him. When Will acted as though he wasn't coming back season 3, he was salty. I believe that was season 3 when he called and said I'm gonna stay home.
That was season 2.
Season 2, yeah.
Yeah, the end of season 2.
Yeah.
The last episode.
Mm-hmm. He was really hurt by that. And then, of course, the famous episode with, Lou coming back. I think that was that moment where you knew, like, Uncle Phil loves Will. Like, he almost whooped Lou's ass. He wanted to whoop Lou ass for real. So
I want to say this though, but speaking of that episode,
yeah.
Remember when him and Will got into it in the kitchen?
Mm-hmm.
And Will was telling him, like, well, yeah, I'm gonna go with him for the summer.
Yep.
And Uncle Phil was kind of like, you should pump your brakes, like,
because he knew.
Hey. But when he told him, like, you're not my father, hey, I kind of like that. Low-key kind of hurt me, like,
yeah. But that, and again, shout out to Uncle Phil for knowing that that's all Will was looking for, was a father. And no matter how hard you try, no matter what you do, unfortunately, you are not his father. And when it comes to certain situations, he can remind you of that. Is it right? Is it fair? Absolutely not, because you're doing everything you can as a man to stand up and provide for this kid. But at the same time, he's not lying. Like, you, all right, I'm not your father. You are absolutely correct. But don't forget, who has been there for you. And even if you do forget, that's fine. Because I know that you'll grow up and you'll realize, like, damn, Uncle Phil was right. That's one of the hardest things, is just, sitting back. Me as a step parent, like, it's tough, because I know that, there are those moments, and then, all you do is hope and pray that one day they realize and they come to you, and be like, hey man, can I talk to you? Like, thank you. And I think Will eventually gave Uncle Phil that, like, that thank you, like that thank you. You the one. Mm-hmm. So he the guy for me.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, you ain't wrong. I don't think you're wrong at all. I mean, yeah. I had him at number 3, but I think it's only because of my connection with Will as the character.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, he was a little hard on him. So I don't know. It was, and also I really appreciate the character that Floyd is. Like, mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at that.
But
I'm not mad at that. All right. So what we got next? Worst?
The worst TV dads.
All right, go ahead, man.
And for my number 3, worst dads, I'm going with Danny Tanner.
Mm.
Going with Danny Tanner. And I know everybody loves Full House.
So hold on. So for worst, you have Danny Tanner. So let me say this to kind of just put our shit together. He's my overrated.
Okay.
He's my overrated. I have Danny Tanner as my overrated dad. So maybe we can bounce off each other with this. Go ahead.
Danny Tanner was a TV dad that was a TV dad. Because remember, he was a news anchor. He worked on the news. And, you know, I just felt like, for one, a lot of the shit that he did was cheesy. Like, very
corny.
Like, and I know it's cultural differences, like, you know what I mean? But I also know parenting is parenting, right? Like, everybody does things different. But some of that shit he did was just terrible. Like, I remember there was an episode where Michelle lost her memory. Like, I felt like he handled that terribly. Like,
why you say that?
I just did. Like, I feel like it was a lot of different things he could have done to try to help her through that time. You know what I mean? Because she had like a concussion. She fell and hit her head. But I felt like it was things that they could have done differently. And him as a parent, like, I felt like I'm gonna be real with you. The reason I got him on my worst list is because I felt like everybody went to Uncle Danny more than they went to him. I mean, when they went to Uncle Jesse more than they went to him. Yeah, and even Joey sometimes. Like, and I know it takes a village, but Uncle Jesse was doing a lot for them kids on the low. But Danny was damn near absent, and you got all these young kids. You was absent with all these young kids.
I just rewatched this whole show, so I'm just listening.
Yeah, so I didn't rewatch it. I know the basis, and you know what I mean. But I do mess with Bob Saget as a person though. Like,
oh yeah, nigga's hilarious. R.I.P. Bob Saget.
Yeah, Bob Saget was hilarious, but his character on Full House, it was just cheesy, corny. Like, I could not relate at all. I was like, he's a terrible TV dad. Yeah. Shit. I don't ever remember him. I know he was cooking every once in a while, but not like that. I felt like Joey kind of picked up more of the household chores and did that stuff. Like, honestly, when Danny went to work, I couldn't tell you what Danny Tanner was doing outside of trying to date.
Listen, I have him overrated. And the reason I have him overrated is kind of some of the stuff you said. And one of those is Jesse and Joey. He had a village, man. And then later on, once Jesse got married, he had, damn, I can't remember her name, but he had Jesse's wife as well. They all lived together. So again, he had a village, and then, he had DJ, who was the oldest, who also was 12 when the show started. But so, she was helping with Stephanie and Michelle. So again, I think he was very corny. He was very OCD, which is crazy. He just didn't. I don't know. It was something weird about him. In the sense of like, my shout out to Big Rich again. Big Rich always said, "Don't trust a man who don't have a mustache." Danny Tanner has them vibes to me. Like, why you ain't got no mustache, nigga? You ain't got no shadow. Like, something up with you, bro. Like, he was just mad corny, man. Like, I can't even see you pulling no chicks. Like,
what you did.
And then Joey was his best friend. I don't know, man. It's just, I loved Full House growing up, but again, rewatching it is just like, he's an okay dad. Like, I'm not about to, like you said, There's situations where they do come to Danny, but for the most part, like you said, sometimes it's easier to talk to, you know, the uncle or the aunt, and that happened majority of the time. They were talking to Uncle Jesse, who was cool. Uncle Jesse was cool, so you know you can tell him like, man, I drank a little bit at the party, and you know maybe he might talk you up to talk to your dad, but he ain't gonna snitch on you, you know. So you know, shout out to Uncle Jesse, Joey. You know they should get more respect. Is all I'm saying. Danny is definitely overrated. Now Bob Saget, you know, is a human being, is legendary. He's, man, when I first seen his stand up, and shout out to him for even being able to play that character. And when you find out how raunchy he is and how opposite of Danny Tanner he is, it's kind of like a relief in a sense where you're like, oh, finally, like, okay, so he's not a fucking weirdo. Like, this nigga is a man for real. Like, because man, they dug that into the ground, man. He's that super cheesy, corny dude, like, you know, making them weird ass jokes. Like, dude, you are not. This ain't it, bruh. This ain't it. So, yeah, he's overrated for me. He's worse for you. I got you.
Yeah, no, he's number 3 on my worst list.
All right,
number 3 on your worst list?
Number 3 on my worst list has to go to. I'm gonna go Al Bundy, man.
Okay,
I'm gonna go Al Bundy. Of course, Al Bundy's from Married with Children. Al Bundy, man, he hates his life, man. He hates his life. He hates his kids, his wife, everything. He is the epitome of damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. Like every other episode, he's talking about, you know, when he, you know, played for Pike High, and he scored that touchdown, and Peggy was all over him, and he can't get past that, you know. And some people can't get past high school, like they just can't do it mentally, because that's when they were the man, and that's Al Bundy. He thought that he was gonna go to, you know, Michigan or Ohio State and win the Heisman and go to the league and be the next whoever, but it didn't pan out.
When he's supposed to go to like Notre Dame?
Listen, he's a bum ass shoe salesman. And I ain't talking about no Foot Locker neither, nigga. Like this nigga was selling women's shoes at Northgate Mall. he was selling fake products, nigga. And he hated his life, and he took it out on his kids and his wife and the neighbor and the neighbor's husband. Like whoever came through. Like he disrespected the wife. He would sit in his house and fantasize about other women. Like even if like one of his daughter's friends came by and she was nice looking, like he would look again, like that type shit. Like, come on, Al, what type of shit is you on, bruh? Yeah. He just, you know, he's the epitome of just, I hate my life. I can't believe this is what's happened. Like, you know, he never really had any good advice for his children, besides like, don't do this. Like, whatever you do, don't get married and don't have kids. Like that's outside of that, he ain't got shit for you. Don't ask him for no money. He ain't got it. They scraping by all that shit, man. You know, listen, Al Bundy, man. Al Bundy.
Well, so I had him as my number 2.
Okay.
So
okay.
We in the same. So when you said it, I'm like, we on the same accord here.
Yep.
Bro, Al, and I love the show. First of all, growing up.
Oh yeah.
I used to love Married with Children.
That theme song, man.
But I was always the nigga like, bro, I'm damn near glad I ain't have a dad. Just looking at that shit, but I was like, I'm glad I ain't got no father. Shit, because if I had a father, he was like that. Bro,
yeah.
Pissed. Like,
yep.
What was the son name? Bud.
Bud. Yep.
Man, bro. Bud grew up to, I don't know what Bud grew up to do. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
Shit, Bud was just getting by.
Yeah.
Kelly.
Pretty much.
Kelly was an airhead.
Dumb.
And this nigga was selling shoes wearing a tie. What? Ain't nobody ever questioned why this man was just wearing a tie to sell. You sell
shoes.
I can see if you was like selling suits. You selling women's shoes.
Yep. With the bunions. They had the bunions and everything.
Bro, he talked down upon bigger women. He was always
bro.
He spent most of his time in strip clubs and on that couch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That nigga would come straight home and just watch TV and be like, hey, fuck it.
But it was so bad, they even had to start giving the dog thoughts on the show.
Hey, what? Bro. The dog had to say buck. That's what the nigga had to say some shit because he's like, this shit is bad over here, man. Bro. That nigga said, I can break out and eat and find some food on my own. This shit is bad.
Bro, I can't remember them ever even taking the dog out for a walk.
Come on, man. You know this. For what?
Bro,
for what?
He barely even wanted to be in the room with Peggy, so we know he wanted to have sex with her. Once every season.
Yep.
They talk about it on the show.
Yep.
But, bro.
Oh, ow!
First, the niggas thought she had something going on with Marcy Darcy.
Yeah. Yep.
Because
facts.
I know he wasn't really spending time with her. I was like, man, this, if I had to put a list of things together I wouldn't want in a father, I just show you, hey, watch this season of
yep.
Children.
Yep.
Everything I don't want in a father, that's that.
That's it. Yeah. Cause he ain't give a damn, bro.
Nah, not one.
Man. Almost to the point where you wonder if they did even just like a mini series of them today. Like what do you think Kelly and Bud would be doing? Kelly would definitely be a stripper or our OnlyFans model or something. Like even at 40 or 50, she'd be OnlyFans.
I agree.
Yep.
She would have gotten the porn probably.
Yeah. Bud would probably be owning a smoke shop or something like that. Or smoking meth. Who knows? Who knows, man?
I don't know what Bud would be doing. To be honest, Bud would probably be. I ain't gonna lie. Bud would probably be a cop just because he got picked on so much in high school.
Yep.
He got a little bit of authority. So
that's it.
I'm gonna become a cop.
Damn. You're right. Are he the security nigga in front of Kroger's tripping out?
Yeah. Security guard of a major grocery line.
Yep. Damn. Yep. You're right. You spitting.
He said, ain't nobody respect me then. Y'all gotta respect me now.
You gotta respect me now. Yeah, buddy. We know a lot of them.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go my number 2. This might throw some people off, but I don't give a damn. I'm going Tony Soprano, man.
Oh.
I'm going Tony Soprano, man. Tony fucking Soprano, man.
Tony Soprano.
Yes. He first off, he's a racist. Let me see what else I put on my list. They claim that he's a complex family man. But he's a mob boss. Like that nigga was a cheating husband. He was a cheating husband, questionable dad. His family loved him. But was he really a good father? Like that's the question that, I would like to answer. No, he was not a great father. There's many episodes that prove that. He wasn't a good husband. He wasn't a good father. He thought that material things could fix everything. Not to mention, when his daughter Started to date a biracial dude. And oh man, that in itself, the Muliani, and just don't bring that nigga back to my house. Like he was tripping out on her. And then of course AJ, I as a man want a son, and you want your son to live up to your legacy, even to the point where you want him to do better with your legacy, right? Now imagine being a mob boss and realizing that your son is an idiot. The few things that he can do, he half-asses. He's lazy, like. And Tony didn't give him much motivation to change that. Like all he did was threaten him. Like instead of like taking him out on the ride and being like, "Listen, son, like look, this all I want from you. Like you can be the best this," or like there was no he tried to win in every situation with fear. You know what I'm saying? Like in the sense of like, I'm Tony Soprano, like you should listen to me, even though you're my son. Like, nigga, okay. Like AJ wasn't going. Like, all right, nigga, I don't give a fuck about none of that. Nigga, I don't want to play football. Like, all that little shit. Like, again, he just, he wasn't a good dad, man. And I think that he thinks higher of himself. He brought a lot of problems to his home. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't a good family man, and that goes to the situations with his nephew, the situations with his uncle, like the situations with his wife. Like it boils down to his kids. Like he just didn't do right by his family, man, including his children. So Tony Soprano is my number 2 worst dad of all time. Trash father.
Dang.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm surprised.
Yeah, trash ass dad.
Because I know you and I know Kyron love the Sopranos.
I fuck with the Sopranos, but that don't mean he's still a trash ass dad.
Oh yeah, no, I get you. I'm like, my number 1, I mess with the show a lot. But
let's hear it.
The Father from Seventh Heaven.
Another trash ass human being in real life.
What's his name? Camden.
Stephen Collins, I believe.
No, I'm saying the character name. But
damn, what is his name? Hold on, go ahead. I'm about to look it up.
I always want to say it was. I know his last name Camden.
Yeah.
But he was a preacher, and obviously everybody in the neighborhood knew him. Like he was a highly respected man in the city because of his title and what he did for work. Everybody knew him from church. But as a father,
Eric
Camden, there it is.
Reverend Eric.
Yeah. But
Reverend pedophile.
But well, yeah, I know. In real life, yeah, he was definitely a terrible person. Doing some wild.
Yeah.
But even on the show, like it seemed like something off with him as a parent.
Yep.
And I've never been one that's like a real like churchy person. That's just how I grew up.
Yeah.
I've always known people who were really into it. You know what I mean? Like even like in people's kids who people who were children of people who were really into like churchy. Like, and I know like your whole family is like really into like church. And, like your mom loved gospel music, like like your love of gospel music came from her.
Yep.
But bro, the fact that he was, he was who he was, but all your kids off the chain, all of them.
Yep.
Starting with your oldest, with Matt. Bro, Matt said
that was wild. Yep.
But and I get it. Like your kids aren't necessarily like sometimes people go through that rebellious stage.
Yeah.
Bro,
yeah.
All of his kids, bro. Matt, Lucy, Simon.
Yep.
Even little baby Ruthie started.
Even Ruthie was stolen.
She was off the chain.
Yep. Named the dog Happy. The Happy was sad in the motherfucker.
Bruh. shit. But Mary, and they were rough on Mary, but Mary was, she wasn't for real doing shit like that. Like,
yep.
It's crazy because when they were doing all this stuff with talking about Mary and trying to discipline Mary, Lucy was the one over here acting crazy.
Doing horrible, wasn't she?
Boy, 15, 16-year-old going to parties, drinking, like,
that's normal.
And Mary telling her, like, yo, like, chill out. Like, I ain't gonna tell mom and dad, but yo, you can't do that. Like, but it was just crazy, bro. Like, and then they called Matt with with the weed, like, and then it turned out it was like Simon's, like,
yep. And I think that's one of the, that's another thing. Like, I could never imagine being the son of a pastor. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a different type of level to live up to, in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, there's a standard that's just set for, there's a standard for my dad, and then there's a standard for me because I'm his son. Like, I'm not allowed to do certain things. Like, even though the average kid does these things, but because I'm the son of a pastor, I definitely can't do these things. Like, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Like, that's the crazy part. Like, no one should be judged because of that. Like, but that's how it is. Same with, like, sorry to cut you off, but same with, like, Tony Soprano. Like, you're AJ, like, you're my son. So there's expectations that come with that. Like, you're supposed to be tough in football. You're supposed to be, kicking people's ass and, all types of things. Like, but if that's just not in you, that's not in you. And on top of that, like, don't forget it takes two to tango, as they say. Like, maybe I picked up my mama's genes and you see my mama soft. Like, maybe I'm just soft. Shit. So, sorry, go ahead.
No, you good. But it's also a thing where he didn't have, like, the best relationship with his dad. But him as an adult, he should have addressed that.
Yeah.
At some point, you know what I mean? Like, and you talking about you want to raise your kids different than your dad raised you, but you feel like he was too hard on you. But nah, like, you should feel honored because of how you turned out.
Yep.
If you feel like you turned out to be a good person, it's a reflection of the type of parent that you had. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, he can't hold your hand through life, and you're gonna make the decisions you're gonna make. But the simple fact that on the show, like, bro, like, when it was like the first episode when they talk about it or when they introduced his dad, like, bro, you could kind of see, like, he don't really mess with his dad like that.
Yep.
But his dad was always there, like, to help, you know what I mean? And his dad even had to tell him, like, I had to be tough on you because, like, for one, I was in the military, like, you know what I mean? And I wanted you to get prepared for real life.
Yep.
So
that's a fact.
I don't know, man. I feel like, obviously he got a lot of stuff going on, as with his job and, other commitments that he got to make. But at the same time, it's like, a lot of times I feel like he left too much on the mom's plate. You know what I mean? In certain situations, like,
yeah. But that's also living that biblical Christian life of, like, the woman is supposed to do this and that, and I'm supposed to do this, and and it's crazy how people, like, how he, he's supposed to forgive. You're supposed to forgive. Like, that's one of the number one things in Christianity. Like, but you can't forgive your dad. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
you're a hypocrite.
Yeah,
hypocrite. Yeah,
but he my number one, man. Like,
I like it.
Eric Camden, man.
Eric Camden.
I don't mess with him.
All right. Are you ready for my number one? Well, my number one worst TV dad. First off, before I get into this, I want to say my honorable mention. This is my 1B is Kanan from Power. Nigga killed his own son, man. He ain't shit. All right. But my real number one is Ghost from Power, man. Yeah, man. And I got a lot of. I wrote a whole list of reasons. Number one, he always put the game first. Claimed he was hustling for the family, but constantly chose the streets and power over his family. Yep.
We feel different.
Played with his kid's safety. His ambition put a target on his family's back. Number 2, cheating, broken home. He had the affair with Angela, destroyed his marriage to Tasha. That eventually trickled down to Tyreek and the other kids, which created Tyreek to resent him, right? And then he failed Tyreek completely. Tyreek is the biggest example of Ghost failures. Instead of guiding him, Ghost pushed Tyreek away, lied to him, and basically created a mini Ghost 2.0 without the discipline. Tasha literally grew to hate him, which is, man, when he mushed her, and after Angela died, that nigga looked in her face and said, I'm mourning the love of my life. Like, how you look at your ex and tell her you mourning the love of your life, man?
Hey.
Hypocrite. He wanted his kids to stay out of the game, but never gave them another route or another vision for life. You know, he wanted them to go to school, but there's look, I got you a grant into this. It was other ways to do it, you know, to motivate them to really, like, when you get out of school, you're going to have this. I gave you 10 million. You can go into this, or man, listen, he tried to go legit, but it was too late. After years of exposing his kids to danger, he was always an absent father, always in meetings, clubs, or with Angela. Barely present for his kids emotionally, especially emotionally. And he showed up only when things were falling apart. And he has a legacy of trauma. His death left his family broken and not better off. So, listen. This nigga was trash, man. And the crazy part about it is, I say all that to say this. He was such a bad father that Tariq killed him. And imagine this. He had 3 or 4 motherfuckers lined up to kill him. Yeah. Tariq is just the first one to get to him. Tariq just knew his little moves and shit. Knew him a little bit better to get to him.
Fair enough.
But your son to kill you was insane.
I agree. I remember the episode.
That's just crazy. But that just says everything you need to know about Ghost. And on top of that, I feel like when Raina died, he just was like, fuck it. Like, all my kids dead. Like, you know, he woke up with the gun in his face. Get up, little nigga. Like, yeah, like that. I don't know, man. Ghost, man, is a horrible father, man.
I will say, like, a lot. You have a lot of great points.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of great points, and I think they were both terrible parents.
Even if we can, but okay, I can see where you're going, but you knew Tasha loved her kids. Period. Like,
I will say that.
They're without question.
But the grandma was the mom to Yaz.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
After like one season, after like season 3, bro, we never even seen Yaz.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma.
Yep.
Oh, my mama got her. You know, my mama.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But see, mama liked that bread, so mama was with it. Shit.
Oh yeah. But the only thing I say, I want to know how things would have turned out if Tasha would have supported Ghost going 100% legit and not still being in the drug scene. Because he at the beginning, at the beginning of the show, he told her that, you know, that's what he wanted to do. And she was like, well, I saw the numbers from the club, and you wouldn't have nearly as much as you would.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean?
Yeah. I get you. I got you.
That's my only. I wonder how things would have turned if she supported him with that, and then does he still, because he seemed like he felt the way after he said, like, after he asked her, like, Tasha, what do you think of me? Like, what do you really think about me? Like, what do you think of me? Like, she was like, you the best drug dealer. Like, I know you the biggest drug dealer I know. Like, it wasn't nothing about like, oh, I think you a great honorable man, or I think you the best husband in the world. It was just straight that, like, and maybe that when he saw Angela, he knows that Angela doesn't know him as Ghost. She knows him just as what was his name? Nigga name. What was Ghost's real name?
St. Patrick.
James
St. Patrick. Yep.
Yeah, she only knew him as James. She didn't know him as Ghost. So yep. I think for him it was a chance.
Called that nigga Jamie.
I think it was a chance for him to not only rekindle like his high school crush, but also to be like, yo, I can be somebody else outside of being Ghost with her.
But okay, so here's my rebuttal to that. You still, why you ain't, what the fuck that got to do with your kids? You still should have been a good dad.
I agree. Rainy should have never died. Rainy should have never died.
Yeah.
And I could blame Tariq, but ultimately it's
gotta blame Ghost.
It's his fault for one. Like, you knew what type of person Kanan was. You letting Tariq spend all this time with Kanan?
Well, remember, he didn't know.
Well, he didn't know, but
but again, if you were a better dad, you would have been on your kids. Yep, exactly. And it's not like you personally have to be on them. You have enough power to get him followed. Nigga, you be getting everybody else followed when you want to know something. Shit.
And remember, Ghost, he was supposed to be 3 steps ahead of everybody.
Well, he went ahead of Tyreek when he came with that thing. Pop, nigga.
Oh man.
Well,
but yeah, I get your number one though. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, that's it for me. And I already said my overrated, Danny Tanner.
Yeah.
Cornball of the century. I would not be happy that he's my dad at all. I would not.
But I'll give you my most overrated.
Go ahead.
Frank Mitchell. Moesha dad.
I'm glad you brought this up. Because it almost slipped my mind. Go ahead. I'm glad you brought this up. Ooh, I can't wait. Go ahead.
The reason he's my most overrated, and I like, don't get me, it's certain episodes where I'm like, I like Frank, but at the same time, for one, he was Moesha was a straight A student. She was involved in like 10 extracurricular activities. She was just 16 and she wanted to date niggas. Like, that's it. Like, she already living, South Central LA. Like, you don't think she gonna bring home some niggas that's got a little bit of sauce to them? Yeah, like some niggas in the streets, but they respectful. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not disrespecting her. Like, she carried herself well.
Yeah.
She went out here being like, she had a lot of boyfriends, but she wasn't
fucking.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she just was, she was that girl. Like, so her. Like, so I get it, like, why you gotta be kind of concerned, but he was doing way too much. Like, he was trying to be a helicopter dad, but then on top of that, nigga, you sell Saturns, nigga. Just chill out. Niggas, they don't even sell Toyotas. Niggas sell Saturns. Like,
the motherfuckers don't even exist no more.
You know what I mean? But I respect him for being a hardworking individual. But
yeah.
And then on top of that, like, he really didn't do too much to like. I remember early on in the show, because I did just rewatch Moesha long ago, but he never really like had like a sit down with her and D, like with Moesha and D, because obviously Moesha felt the way because her mom passed away. Her and Miles' mom passed away.
Yeah.
But, so it was harder for her to accept D into the house. But he never had like a sit down with her, like, yo, I know, it's a little rough. Y'all might not be getting along, or you might have a way about D. I think he talked to her one time about it, but it was just like briefly in her room. Like, it wasn't like he set them both down, like, hey, let's talk. Like, they don't have that moment, but D just kind of kept being like, attentive and Moesha kind of started to like her more and more. It was never because of Frank. Frank should have been the one being like, yo, like, let's talk, like, let me explain why I need D or why she's gonna be, important to this household. Like,
I think that's a cultural thing. That definitely has a lot to do with the culture, in the sense of like, I'm the adult, this is my house, I don't have to explain shit to you type deal. Like, unfortunately, like, it shouldn't be that way. Like, I agree with you. Like, there should be a sit down, especially at 16, 17, like, because this is impacting your life as well. You know what I mean? Like, even though maybe not as much as if you were, younger, but it still impacts your life, maybe even more, because you're very aware of what's going on. You know that, we are, bumping uglies, as they say, like, all that type of deal. So yeah, I'm with you. I definitely agree with that part. But again, that's just a cultural thing. Like, I ain't never got sat down by nobody.
Me either. But at the same time, like, but I'm just saying, like, but like, I feel like that would have been something that would have been nice. You know what I mean? Nicer. You know what I mean? Like, but, and especially as hard as he was on Moesha, I think that would have been necessary. You know what I mean? But it's also like he raising a young woman, bringing a woman into the, you know what I mean? Like, so I think for me, and then on the whole thing when Miles was like in the playground, they caught it and they found a joint, and then they automatically assumed it was Moesha's. And Moesha just got out of being in trouble, because I think she just moved back home.
Yep.
Because remember, like, he kicked her out the house, and she's living with Aunt Dale. She come back home. They finally kind of like have a breakthrough where Frank ain't being Frank.
Yeah.
And then they find that joint, and then Whatshot was like, D was like, oh, I don't want to. Nah, it can't be Moesha's. Like, and then he was like, who else could it be, D? Who else could it be? Like, Miles don't live there. Nigga, Miles 12. Nigga.
Right.
Miles 12 sparking up joints. Like,
Yep. That's a fact.
Bro, so then Moesha had found out, and she ain't even for real rat him out until she had to. Like, you know what I mean? Because it was at the point where she was like, "Shit, why you want me, nigga? It's really Miles. It's really Miles weed. Talk to Miles." Like, me and Frank was just like, he couldn't even say anything. Like,
man, I mean, you're right.
Right, and I think the reason I say he's the most overrated, because, and I know a lot of people think that, like, yo, nah, he was, kind of was a middle class guy. Hakeem came over, bruh, the whole time. Next thing you know, Hakeem and Moesha, Hakeem could have been trying to get close to Mo this whole time. You giving this dude access to your crib. I could see if he like 11, 12, kind of in that, like, we trust you stage, but nigga like 15, 16, raising hormones.
Yep. Hey, I'm with you.
You got all the access in the world to your daughter.
Yep.
Like, but
now,
but this is the most important thing.
Yeah.
The whole the Dorian situation. That's what took me into the.
I'm not allowing it. I'm not allowing it,
bro.
Nope, I'm not allowing it.
I said it.
It's not fair.
At some point, he should have told Dorian the truth without having to do it the way that because Dorian really had to find out because Moesha found out.
Listen, I'll say this once and I'll say it twice. The writers of Moesha fucked Frank Mitchell very badly. They killed his legacy on this show. I wouldn't say he's overrated. I definitely would put him, just in that top 10, top 25, somewhere in there, of great dads, before the legacy kill, which was just a way to bring Dorian's character permanently on the show. They could not figure out how to write Ray J into the show. And this is what they came up with. And ultimately it killed Frank Mitchell's legacy. and it caused Cheryl Lee Ralph to leave the show. She was so upset that they did this to his character that she left the show. She said, "Why are y'all killing this black man's legacy like this? You know, he raised his daughter, his family, off of a low pension, blase blase. Like he's a great man, you know, who stood on business, and then you kill his legacy, saying that he cheated on his wife. Like that's just and had a baby and allowing his kids to believe that this kid is his net. Like it was horrible, and it was poorly written. And I'm with Cheryl Lee on this one. Like that shit is trash. Like they killed his legacy with that bullshit, and that's why I don't like Ray J, because he just can't get out of his sister's shadow, but he don't allow himself to do it. He always got to be in what she in. Let it go.
But no, because Dorian wasn't a bad character. Like his character it contributed to the show. I didn't feel like it took away at all. I didn't, because I feel like it helped. I low-key felt like it helped with the progression of Miles's character. I feel like Frank was just, and when I judge Frank, it's a lot of it based off how he handled Moesha.
They could have brought Dorian in as Dee's nephew or something with Dee. Like there was ways to do it. Like you don't have to kill that man's legacy to do it.
I agree.
Shit.
I agree, but I'm just saying solely based off of the of what happened on the show. This is what I'm saying. That whole but even if that was the case, bro, like they could have had him explain it a lot differently, than that.
No matter how he explained it, that's that's a killer, bro. Because the whole time they put,
because he was a year younger than Moesha too.
Yeah, they put Brandy, or excuse me, they put Moesha and Miles. They put his wife on this pedestal of like she was an angel, she was this, she was that. And then you come to find out that this man cheated on her. Like, and not only did he cheat, but he had the baby be raised by his. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's filthy work.
Yeah,
that's filthy, bro.
Yeah,
that's filthy. So no, I don't agree with them for that. That's bullshit. He still got that cut, by the way. That's what he needed to get rid of, that cut. That nigga's still wearing that box. His hairline is all the way back.
I don't even know what you asked for to get that haircut.
You asked for the Frank Mitchell, nigga. Shit.
Let me get it trimmed up, but let me keep it stiff.
Oh man, I don't know what you asked for, bro. That shit is ridiculous.
Well, I guess his barber is his barber for a reason.
Hey, get them together.
The nigga that cut his hair is the nigga that cut his hair.
And I feel like that really killed his legacy. Like I just haven't seen him in much since that. Like,
you know what though? I think you're right. Because I think that was ultimately like the downfall of Moesha almost.
Mm-hmm. Like, because that's just horrible, bro. Like, why would you do that to that man? I mean, I don't care if we named. I'll put it like this: if we took all of our top 3 best dads and put that situation on them, they would automatically turn into bad dads. Like, no matter what we just said about them, that negates everything. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Think about this: if they wrote in a character out of nowhere on Smart Guy, and you found out that Floyd, you know, that he has a son or daughter as old as Marcus, you know what I mean? His kids would never speak to him again.
You're right.
Not even 2J.
You're right.
No. That's bullshit.
You're right.
So
you're 100% right.
Mm-hmm. Fuck them.
That's just like, hey, you remember what the episode of Martin when they thought that when they thought he had a little kid, like,
oh yeah,
like, you know, shit. I mean, obviously it was before he met Gina.
Yeah, and that's even tough. Even before you met me is tough. So imagine while you with me and my mama gone.
Yep.
So now I'm asking hella questions. Did mama know? Probably not. Are you glad she died? Did you help kill her so she couldn't find out? But I'm asking all types of questions.
Yeah.
Shit.
No, you right.
Yep.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You think that anything would have changed the perception of, because I mean, when you talk about like how like the character of these, like the actual like morality of these characters, right? Like for instance, Uncle Phil episode. Remember when what was her name? Came with her daughter, the one Will ultimately.
Oh, Pam Grier and
yeah. You remember her? Like she was making those advances on Uncle Phil. Like you think if he would have,
I don't
like you think that changes the like him being so honorable to Vivian, even with her making those advances. You think that's one thing that people like when they look at the character like Uncle Phil, they like, nah, he was respectable. That's why I mess with him the way I do.
I think the more I watched that episode, the more I realized that she was doing that just to be friendly. She was trying to keep everyone off of the fact that she wanted Will. I think that's what that was about.
You think so?
Yes. I don't think she thought about Phil like that at all. I think, again, and I've been in those situations where Shorty really on me, but she on another nigga to keep motherfucker. Yeah, man, they do it. They risky, man. They yeah. I think she just wanted Will, and of course, my daughter's on him, and I can't just be out front with it. So as soon as I get my opportunity, though, I'm at him.
I don't know, because remember when they was at the barbecue the next day, and Will had told Uncle Phil about what happened or whatever, like, because he was like, I dropped Cindy off one, we went out for a date, I dropped her off and saw her mama, and I ain't get away from her mama. What's her name, Janice?
And he said, "Oh," Uncle Phil was like, "Oh," when he realized what he said. Oh,
he was like, tied down. You slept with Janice.
Yeah.
Hey, Uncle Phil walked outside and said, "Hey, I think you need to leave."
He was salty. Hey. I'm supposed to be my yams. Nah.
She said, well, Phil, it's unfortunate, we could have really had something special. Hey, so you telling me that her saying that don't make you believe that she wanted Phil? She was. I think that she saw an opportunity to rekindle something. Also,
I also think that goes to how bad the writing was after the OG Aunt Viv left, because OG Aunt Viv wasn't going for that.
I agree.
And OG Aunt Viv wasn't going for that at all, not even a little bit.
Yeah, y'all can stop about 1 day, but 2 days coming over 2 days.
Yeah. And just hearing that type shit, like, you would have what? Let me take my earrings off. Like, cut this shit out. So, yeah.
You're right, because the Aunt Viv, when I think about that, Aunt Viv just stood there shit. I mean, even though sometimes like they say that like the man should be able to say something without the woman having to say anything, but still, I would have liked for Aunt Viv to come out and be like,
OG Aunt Viv was a gangster. We saw it in many episodes.
Yeah.
And you seen her sisters. Okay. They ain't play no games. So we know what she about. So
everybody got Aunt Helen in their family too.
What? What if my mama is the Aunt Helen? Shit.
Sometimes she is.
Shit. So, well, man, I'm man, great episode. Wow. I'm so glad you brought up that Frank Mitchell shit, because that shit pisses me off that they killed that man's legacy like that.
But you know what though? I never thought of it until you said something though. I never thought about that. Like, I don't know what the writers were thinking. Like, I honestly, after that episode, I did feel a way about him.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? And you're invested. Like, it was one of those things that me and the wife during COVID, when they put all that stuff on Netflix, we rewatched it. And as soon as we got there, I stopped watching it because I forgot all about it. And I'm just like, oh no, I forgot about this. Nope, they killed this man's legacy. I forgot all about it. And I just stopped watching it because I'm like, I forgot they did this to this man. Like, he wasn't the best dad. He wasn't the worst dad. But you could agree and stand with him on his morals, whatever they were. Like, I respect your morals. This is it. Like, but to find out that you did some whack shit like that, and then to read into it and find out it's because they wanted to bring Ray J on, and then the show get canceled a year later anyway. Like, nigga, that shit is trash.
Hey, brother, you ever seen the last episode?
Give me the Parkers, man. I'm watching the Parkers all day, every day.
You ever seen the last episode?
I told you I cut it off. That was it for me.
So the last episode, can I spoil it for you?
Nigga, go for it.
Last episode of Moesha was actually to be continued. That they never continued. Nigga, Miles got kidnapped.
All right, man. See, that's what I'm saying. Just off of that, you should know what the writers was on. They ain't know what to do no more.
Bro, he got kidnapped because of Dorian. Because Dorian didn't want to sign with this record label. It was like
All right, man. I'm super glad you stopped through. I don't even know what to say to that, man. Great episode, man. Like, subscribe, all that shit, man. Wow. Yeah. Damn, they killed a legacy with that shit, man.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. This episode, because I didn't know how it was going to go. You know what I mean? I'm like, because I think it's a great topic.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to hear your perspective on a lot of those TV dads, though.
Yeah, and I think it's also interesting to hear yours because you're not a dad. You know what I mean? Like, it's different. It's different too when you're not a dad, as well. So, yeah, trying to figure out as you get older what type of father you want to be. And again, I still watch things, picking up things like, oh, okay, because my daughter she'll be 9 in January, so I'm still at that perfect age, like how to deal with that preteen stuff and all that type of stuff. Like, so I'm still picking up things and learning things. And, as a parent, I don't think you ever stop learning and growing. So I'm just going to continue to try to be the best, worst, overrated dad I can be, man.
But yeah, even though I'm not a dad, but I'm an uncle. I'm a 10-year-old.
Yep, that's a second dad shit.
A 10-year-old teenager.
yeah, I'm hip. so
hey, when I like, bro, like to me, I think he's in my top 5. But Michael Kyle, like,
yeah, he worth mentioning for sure. Yeah. Worth mentioning. Michael Kyle for sure. Michael Kyle for sure. It's definitely worth mentioning. The only thing that ruined that show was like the last season, maybe the last season and a half.
Oh, you're talking about with the baby and
yeah, and it felt like Junior just got dumber and dumber, and it was just stupid ass jokes.
Like the lessons he was teaching his kids, like honestly, like with Junior having the kid or whatever. And bro, the episode when they caught Junior having sex with the girl in their bed.
Man, I'd make it good, man. What?
Bro, Junior, bro, he kicked Junior out the house, bro.
Yeah.
Hey.
Had that man in the garage.
No, he's outside, like outside.
Oh, yeah.
In the garage, like.
Hey.
He said, you can't come in this house.
I'd have said it's too late. All right, man. Let me get on out of here, man. Great episode, brother.
Phenomenal episode, man.
Yes.
I think people gonna enjoy this one for sure.
They better. All right.